Hare Krishna. I would like to announce that some thoughts came to my mind today. I was talking to some friends on Facebook, and I would like to announce that the Hare Krishna movement believes in genocide. That's right, we believe in genocide. We are on a transcendentally genocidal campaign. What do I mean by that? Well, we have an opportunity for 10,000 years, since about 500 years ago, to actually eradicate all of the demonic tendencies that are currently influencing the material universe that we live in. Meaning, we have a chance, we can eradicate this. When I lived in Long Beach, Long Island, there was a hurricane named Sandy. And this hurricane basically did a lot of damage, a lot of stuff was destroyed, but the after effects was that there was a lot of molds and chemical contamination. This was what they call Blackwater. It was like the most chemically infiltrated water, because the bay, the ocean, and the sewers and chemical plants and industrial waste, all of them met up together. And so even if you washed your clothes, no matter if you washed them, sent them to the dry cleaners, they were still chemically contaminated. So you had to throw away everything. You had to gut the walls, everything. So basically now I would come in there afterwards, right? And, do the demolition. And we would set up these dryers. You would have to dry the place. You would have to have machines to circulate the air. You would have to have dehumidifiers, all to mitigate the growth of fungus and mold. If you want to relate fungus and mold to the asuras, or the demonic entities, and demonic entities is not a good word for it, because the asura, the nature of the asura, those beings who live on the lower level of the cosmos, it's very complicated, sophisticated situation. So in order to relate these asuras or these demons to fungi and mold, you'd have to go to another scripture, the Quran, where the Quran basically says that the jinn, which is like a negative spirit, evil spirit, the jinn observes you from where you know not. Now let's look at the behavior of lower life forms like fungus. Fungus grows between the toes before you even know it's there. Jock itch is in the genital regions before you realize you start itching. The mold is there, the seed is there. The cockroach is watching you. He's watching what you're eating, and he's watching every grain of food that falls on the floor that you leave behind. We have to really look at these things. These things come from underfoot, lower life forms, patala loka, below, the world's below the foot. So that fungus grows up from a place that is hidden. It always says in the Quran, your enemy is there, but he's hidden. And he's hidden in plain sight. So these molds, these fungus, they need some kind of antiseptic. So what I would do is spray the beams of your house and whatever's left after it's been gutted, to mitigate this mold situation. So how do we mitigate when you have a mold on your heart or your soul? Well, for every age there's a prescription. And for this age, the prescription is sound meditation, mantra meditation, specifically on Sanskrit names of the Lord. Sanskrit is a unique language. It's Devanagari. Deva meaning gods or higher beings. Elohim, Netaru, Lua, Orisha. All of these beings, these are the Devas. And their language is Nagari. Once again, their language is Naga. Nagari. Right? So there's a divine language, the language of the gods. And it also correlates that in ancient Kemet, their language is also called Metu Neter, which is words of the gods. But it can also mean Mother Nature, because Metu is also Mata, and Neter is the forces of nature. Once again, it all connects to the demigods and the hierarchical order of the universe. So with this being said, if you have a mold on your heart, the words, the holy names of the Supreme Lord can actually decontaminate your soul, because it requires spiritual medicine or spiritual antiseptic to deal with spiritual problems. So if you're having problems in your relationships, your marriage, or personal problems, whatever, a lot of people go to a therapist. But these therapists have the same friggin' fungus on their heart. Excuse my language. It's me. Yo, they got the same fungus on their heart and on their mind. They don't even have the antiseptic. How are you going to teach me about hygiene and you don't leave the bathroom and wash your hands or wash your genitals first? You can't teach me about hygiene. You can't help me. You can't save me. Likewise, a materially inclined person can't tell you how to properly live your life or how to fix your marriage, your relationships, whatever, your drug problems, because they have no information of the spirit. The only thing you could do in the material world is patchwork. You can't make something perfect in the material world. It has to be a spiritual alchemy, a spiritual process. So for this age, we are fortunate to have the Hare Krishna Mantra. So now we can go and genocide. We don't have to kill the demons. We just clean their nature. In olden ages, the devil could not be reformed. That is an adage. That is an adage that is found in the nation of Islam under the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. They believe that the devil cannot be reformed. Well then, was Malcolm X not a devil when he was out there doing devilishment? Yet he became so pure that he came to my neighborhood, Corona, and started a temple for the Lord right there on 105th Street. Black Panthers was there. Everybody was there. They know what's up. This neighborhood is infiltrated by the energy of Malcolm X. That's right. East Elmhurst, Queens, Corona, Queens. This area. Bordering Ditmars Boulevard, Grand Central Parkway, and Flushing Bay. That's my stomping grounds. Flushing, Corona, Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, not even Elmhurst. So long story short, a devilish being can be purified with the right frequencies. The olden ages, it was hard to convert a demon. You just had to kill him or step on him. But now you can actually show real mercy, because what happened was Prabhu Nityananda, who is the spiritual master of the whole world, he's one of the expansions of Balaram or Baladev, which is Krishna's first expansion. In other words, Baladev is God. He is the supreme God, Balaram. But he is not the supreme personality of Godhead. You see, Balaram's only cause is Krishna, but Krishna has no other cause. He is the cause of all causes. I believe it's Sarvakaranakaranam in Sanskrit. So we have this opportunity because he broke down the gates to the door. Imagine God tells you, yo, God, guard the gates. The doors is locked. This is the ocean of mercy, right? Guard those gates, man. And he hires you to guard the gates. And what do? You're a madman, and you come and you break down the gates to the ocean of mercy. Well, that's exactly what happened. The gates to the ocean of mercy were broken down. So that's why we always talking about this Hare Krishna Mantra. Nobody, yo, I'm so serious. Nobody's interested in converting the whole planet. We just know the effects that if everybody on the planet chanted it just once, or even a tenth of the population took to Krishna consciousness at least, then what will happen is a miraculous transformation on this planet, and we would actually have Vaikuntha right here on this planet Earth. So I wanted to share that with you, and I just also wanted to say the Hare Krishna Mantra so you can hear it, because that is the method of sacrifice for this age, is the Hare Krishna Mantra. As a matter of fact, there was a Prabhu named Vishnu Janat Swami. He once said the Hare Krishna Mantra, like in the background, there must have been some Australian didgeridoos playing. Like it sounded real earthy. It didn't sound like Vedic instruments or Western instruments. It sounded like some serious indigenous music. And the version he gave was like pure nectar. I haven't heard that version sung by anybody else before, and I'm going to just do a little excerpt of it. And remember, play the sound of the Maha Mantra, particularly chanted by Srila Prabhupada, because when a pure devotee does things like speak about Krishna and spread the doctrine, he emits some radioactive saffron particles. This is transcendental energy. It's that energy that can have a poor man sitting in Tompkins Park for 1 year chanting by himself, and then the next year he has a whole international mission and starts 108 temples, all done after the age of 69. We got to really look at this. And this, you could say, was he an agent? Was he CIA? Well, the proof is in the pudding, because he is the only one speaking the exact opposite of what the system is speaking. He's taking people off of the drugs. CIA puts the drugs in the hood, and he gets them off of the drugs. You know? The Zionist media machine perpetuates illicit sex, homosexuality, meat eating. And what does Srila Prabhupada do? An old man. Physically, apparently all dried up. What is he going to do? What potency does he have? Right? Oh, it's us young people. It's in 25-year-olds. They do it. They win the championships in the NBA. Who is this little man? He's like 4'9" and slight of body. What is intellectual and spiritual acumen has no parallel in our modern world. Who does this at an event? Anyway, getting back to the point, it was the power of the Sankirtan Yagna and his chanting that was infused with the Spirit of the Lord. And it was the dust from the Lord's feet. Can you imagine? This man did that with the dust from the Lord's feet. This is real science. It's transcendental science. So in honor of Vishnu Janat Swami, I would like to sing Hare Krishna Mantra the way he sung it. He went, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.